Carmax dealerships are filled with overpriced inventory that they cannot sell, and it's pretty crazy what's going on right now in the car market, and they can't sell this stuff. It's way overpriced, and Carmax is known to be that dealership that's not like a traditional dealership where they don't negotiate, there's no haggle, this and that, but it's a one price. Normally, you pay a lot for that one price, and it's really showing right now when you have cars that are used but selling for over MSRP with 20,000 miles, and there's plenty of new stock at the dealership, so you could just go get a new one for cheaper. It doesn't make any sense at all. And even a car with more miles, which I've noticed Carmax is going later in years. I've never seen this before where Carmax will have 15-year-old vehicles, 10-year-old vehicles all over the place with 120,000 miles selling for $10, $15, $20, $25,000. And the car, you would think it's worth $5,000. That's how overpriced some of these things are. They're selling it for $15, it's worth $5. But in all reality, it's payments. They finance a lot of the customers. They offer financing from challenge credit to good credit, but even their good credit doesn't seem like the best interest rate. I saw 8.95% on the window, and then challenge was up to 22.95%. And now with repos up and all this stuff going on, people's credit card debt rising, costs rising, everything getting more expensive, there's going to be more people that have challenge credit, and so there's going to be more people that have that higher interest rate. $400 72-month payments on vehicles that are way overpriced, and they don't even last 72 months because it needs a new transmission probably. They know how to get people because they can go longer, 72, 84. How long do you want the payment to go? And I saw a Toyota 4Runner. It was an SR5 Premium selling for over MSRP, and I have a 5th gen 4Runner, but I was like, whoa, 50-something grand for a 4Runner SR5? That's insane. So if it is a desirable vehicle, it's just selling for way, way over. And keep in mind, if CarMax is going out getting these cars, they got to get them somewhere. Yes, they're buying them from the public when they bring them in, trade them, this and that, but their offers are not as strong as they used to be. They have to go to auction and get these repos and bring them back on the lot. They're going to try to get it refurbished as cheap as they can. The cheapest parts, cheapest everything. Why would they spend more money? They're trying to make as much money as they can. So you're getting a repoed car that's had the cheapest parts repaired. It's a little detail and there it goes. So that's something else. I think the quality of vehicle is low right now because if you have a good car, you don't need to buy a car, you're probably not getting one. So those solid, good trade-ins really are not circulating through as much as they used to, and they were already hard to find. Now they're even harder to find. So many people just don't even do their maintenance nowadays. All these used cars at CarMax probably have 10,000 mile oil changes. Who knows? Hopefully you're checking the Carfax and at least checking over the vehicle and getting a pre-purchase inspection. Here's the deal. A lot of people just trust CarMax because it's CarMax. Still, treat it like a normal dealership. Do your research. Make sure you're getting a good deal because you could overpay big time. These vehicles are way overpriced. And you don't want to wind up with an unreliable vehicle, so you can get a pre-purchase inspection. Just make sure you know what you're looking at. There's just a lot of bad vehicles circling through. So CarMax has their own lending, so it's a big benefit because if the car's way overpriced, the loan-to-value ratio, they can definitely do what they want because it's their lending. Especially with challenge credit, 22.95%, $15,000 for 72 months. It's a bad situation. The car price doubles or triples. It's insane. Just interest. And there's going to be a lot more of those coming. But CarMax stock has been going down here lately, so we have to see what's happening. But tax time wasn't necessarily what they thought it was going to be. And I think if they don't start lowering these prices, it's just going to get harder from here because everything's overpriced. And as they sell vehicles, they got to replenish it. But luckily, they are all over the place, so they can trade cars with each other, and they try to make that situation work for them. But you can only do so much when everything's so overpriced. And they also have their own dealer auction, and that brings in a lot of money too for them. And they can get rid of a lot of the inventory they don't want. But still, a lot of the stuff winds up on their lot. It's way overpriced. It's not really good quality. I've seen the quality go down with used cars, especially at CarMax and dealerships. I've seen more vehicles with more wrecks and more bad Carfax sitting there with higher prices. So it makes no sense. In my opinion, I wouldn't want to buy any of this stuff because it's just way overpriced. And when you're looking at a used vehicle and it costs more than a new vehicle and there's inventory on the new lot, it makes zero sense. Even when there was no inventory, I couldn't wrap my head around paying over MSRP for a vehicle or even MSRP. And CarMax makes a lot of money financing people and selling their warranties and all this stuff. That's their main thing. I don't know what their percentage of customers are payment buyers, but I assume it's upwards of 90%. And so that's why they're offering older vehicles with more issues because they're more affordable and they can get in that $300, $400 payment range. And we're talking about 2013 Ford Fiestas that would sell 5 years ago for 7 grand. Now they're offering and selling it for 13 grand. So it makes no sense. It's all bad priced. And it's not just Carmax, even a regular dealership is as well. But Carmax, there's no negotiating. It is what it is. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think any of this stuff's overpriced? Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.